All around us, the world appears normal, predictable, explained. But hidden beneath that thin surface of logic and science lie stories that don't fit. Events witnessed by many, documented and yet completely unexplainable. Deep into the shadows of the unexplained, where reality bends, time breaks, and logic fails. You're about to witness 7 of the most chilling, mind-bending, and fascinating real-life mysteries from around the world. Stories that still leave scientists speechless to this day. If you're ready to question everything you know, let's begin. 1. The vanishing village of Anjikuni, Canada. In the frozen wilderness of Canada's Nunavut region lies Anjikuni Lake, a place now silent and empty, but once home to a thriving Inuit village. The story begins in 1930, when fur trapper Joe LaBelle arrived expecting food, warmth, and company. Instead, he found the village deserted. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Huts were intact, weapons and supplies were untouched. Even meals were still warm over fire pits, as if everyone had vanished in an instant. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigated. No footprints were found leading away from the village. And eerily, the village graveyard had been dug up. Was it mass abduction? A natural phenomenon we don't understand? Or something far more terrifying? Over the years, researchers, conspiracy theorists, and historians have debated it endlessly. But there is still no clear answer. 2. Mel's Hole, the bottomless pit, Washington State, USA. This story emerged in the late 1990s when a man calling himself Mel Waters phoned into a radio show claiming he owned land with a hole that had no end. He said locals had known about it for decades, using it as a dumping site. But no matter what was thrown in, trash, metal, even a refrigerator, there was never a sound of impact. Mel said he lowered fishing line into it and over 80,000 feet of it, and never reached the bottom. Even more disturbing, a man claimed his dog after dying was tossed into the hole. Days later, the dog was seen walking through town. Mel said the government later confiscated his land and he was warned to remain silent. Since then, no one has confirmed the location of the hole. Satellites show nothing, but witnesses from nearby towns still say they know someone who saw it, or stood near it, and felt something watching them from below. 3. The temple that shouldn't exist, Tamil Nadu, India. Deep in the forests of Tamil Nadu, archaeologists stumbled upon a forgotten temple, untouched by time, hidden by trees, and unknown to modern records. But what they found inside was impossible. The architecture didn't match any known period. Some parts of the stone were not native to the region, and carved into the walls were constellations only visible with modern telescopes, including some that weren't discovered until the 20th century. Yet the temple is over 1,000 years old. The real mystery lies in a sealed chamber. Its metal door hums at a frequency too low for human ears, detectable only by special equipment. Monks in the area warn never to open it. Some believe it holds an artifact of immense power. Others think it's a gateway, but no one dares break the seal. And so it waits, still sealed, still humming. 4. The moving island of Chapala, Mexico. Lake Chapala in Mexico is the country's largest freshwater lake, and one of its strangest. Fishermen and locals have long whispered about a small rocky island near the center. Sometimes it's visible, sometimes it isn't. And on old maps, it appears in different places over the decades. In 2007, a man claimed he camped overnight on the island. In the middle of the night, he woke up to find the water pulling away, forming a narrow stone path leading to the island's center. He followed it and heard singing, voices gentle. When he returned to shore at dawn, his phone and watch were both 12 hours behind. His GPS history had been erased. No scientist has ever been able to explain the island's behavior. Some say it's a mirage, others a magnetic anomaly. But locals believe the island is alive, and it only shows itself when it wants to be seen. Strangest, the whispering cave of Iceland. High on the volcanic ridges of Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula lies a place most tourists are warned not to visit. A narrow, almost invisible opening in the rock known by locals as Dimmerhull, or the Dark Hall. In 2019, a group of researchers equipped with high-sensitivity microphones, seismic sensors, and thermal imaging entered the cave for the first time in years. Just 80 feet inside, the cave goes completely silent. Not quiet, silent. No echo, no ambient noise, no wind. Then, they heard it. A deep, slow whispering in a language no one could recognize. It seemed to come from all directions at once, yet no one else was inside. The team's instruments malfunctioned. Batteries drained instantly. One member claimed he saw writing appear on the stone, glowing faintly, and then vanish. They left in a panic. When they reviewed the recordings back at their lab, a single phrase was heard clearly on one audio file. "Not yet. You're not ready. No one has gone back since." 7. The magician who vanished on live television, Spain. On June 2, 1997, Spanish illusionist José Martínez performed what was supposed to be the greatest stunt of his career. A live televised escape from a locked glass box submerged in the Guadalquivir River. Chains, timers, multiple cameras, everything was in place. The audience watched as the box was lowered into the river and then disappeared beneath the surface. 5 minutes passed, then 10. When the crew raised the box, it was empty. Diving teams searched the area for days. No trace of Jose. His equipment, clothes, even his microphone, gone. Some say it was a failed escape. Others insist it was planned. But months later, a grainy CCTV video from a small village in Argentina showed a man identical to Jose, silently walking into a church, then vanishing. Could he have staged a disappearance across continents, or did he find a way to escape more than just the box? To this day, his body has never been found. Bonus mystery: the painting that grows older, Italy. In a private collection near Florence, Italy, there exists a painting known simply as L'uomo sospeso, the suspended man. Painted sometime in the 1700s, it depicts a man sitting on a bench, hands on his knees, gazing straight ahead. But there's something very strange about it. Over the years, the painting appears to age. Multiple photos taken decades apart show changes in the man's appearance. More wrinkles, gray hair, a slouch in posture. Art historians have confirmed the canvas has never been altered. No new paint, no restoration. Worse still, 2 owners have reported that the painting blinked while they were alone in the room. No one can explain it. Some say the soul of the painter became trapped within. Others think the man in the painting was real and still watches silently from within the frame. Extended closing thoughts. Mysteries are not just relics of the past. They're not confined to fairy tales or folklore. They're real, they're now. In a world obsessed with data, proof, and control, we often forget that the universe is not obligated to explain itself to us. We crave certainty, but there are cracks, thin lines where our world brushes against something else. Whether it's a hole with no end, a mirror that doesn't reflect reality, or a whisper in a sealed cave, these phenomena challenge the very foundation of what we call reality. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not supposed to solve every mystery. Maybe some stories are meant to be reminders that we still don't know everything and we never will. If this video left you questioning the world around you, you're not alone. Every week we uncover more stories that bend the rules of time, space, and understanding. Subscribe for deep dives into real-life unsolved mysteries, forgotten legends, and the strangest facts science can't explain. Tell us in the comments, which of these mysteries shook you the most? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Who knows? Your story might be the next one we uncover.